Hello Year 6, welcome to your maths video for Friday. So we're moving on today to division, and in your books we are moving on to pages 14 and 15. So we are doing 2 pages again today, but I think you're all going to fly through page 14, which is why we're going to do 15 as well. So on page 14 then, it says make each number 7 times smaller. So all you've got to do on question 1 is divide each of those by 7. But you might notice they're all multiples of 7. So all you've got to do is use your times tables for that one. So that's nice and easy starting. Question 2 then, it says write down the divisions first and then the remainders below. So you've got to do each of the numbers across the top, dividing by 10 in A, and then in B, divide the numbers across the top by 100. So you should be able to do this mentally. So 572 divided by 10 is 57.2, isn't it? So 57 would go in the top box, and then your remainder is 2. Okay, so if it's 57.2 in this one, your 57 would go in here, your 2 would go in here. Okay, so 665 divided by 10 is 66.5. So you'd put 66 in there and 5 in there. Okay, so you should be able to do those ones mentally. Question 3 then, you might have to do some inverse calculations, which is the opposite on some of them. So on A, you don't need to, you can just use your times tables. So use your known facts. So take away that 0 and do 45 divided by 9. And then don't forget to add the 0 back on in your answer. Whereas on B, we've got to work backwards. So the opposite of dividing is multiplying. So to work out what something divided by 5 equals 100 is, you just need to do 100 times 5. Okay, so 100 times 5 is 500. But then just double check it works before you move on. So on B then, if we think it's 500, is 500 divided by 5 100? Yeah, so it works. Okay, so just make sure it works before you move on. On question 4 then, you've got some word problems. So on A, it says chocolate bars cost 40p for a pack of 5. Michael has £2.84. How many chocolate bars can he afford? So first of all, let's work out how much one chocolate bar is. So if it's 40p for a pack of 5, we need to do 40 divided by 5, which we can do in our head, which is 8. Okay, so they are 8p each. That is a cheap chocolate bar. Now we've got to do £2.84 divided by 8. Now let's do that together. Okay, so I've taken away the decimal and put it in bus stop like this. So 284 divided by 8. We'll do this together just as a refresher for bus stop method and decimal remainders, and then I'll tell you how to get your answer. Okay, so first of all then, how many 8s go into 2? None, because 8 is bigger than 2. So we'll put our 0 up there, and then we've got to carry this 2 across over here. Okay, so how many 8s go into 28? So it's 3, isn't it? Okay, 3 times 8 is 24, but I wanted 28. So the difference between 24 and 28 is 4. So then you carry that 4 over there. Okay, now I've got to do then how many 8s go into 44. Okay, and that would be 5. Yeah, 8 times 5 is 40, but we've still got this 4 left. So we put a decimal and carry our put a 0, and then we carry that 4 over in front of the 0 that we had left. Okay, that decimal also needs to go up here next to the 5. So now how many 8s go into 40? It's 5 again, isn't it? So your answer would be 35.5. Okay. Now, it says how many chocolate bars can he afford? You can't have you can have half a chocolate bar, but you can't buy half a chocolate bar. So you can't have 35.5. He can just have 35 whole chocolate bars. He's going to have a little bit of money left over, isn't he? Okay. So on B then, it's a very similar type of question. Think carefully about how much one caramel is and then work out how much he's going to be able to buy with his money. Okay? On page 15 then, you've got some long division. Okay, so I'll go over it quickly with you and then you can have a go. So you've only got 4 long division questions. So I'll go over the first one as an example. So we've got 1,232 divided by 12 and we're going to use chunking like we've done in school, and it's some good practice to make sure we don't forget how to do it. So if we're doing 1,232 divided by 12, we've got to multiply 12 by something to take a big chunk off this number. Okay, so I'm going to do, 12 times 10 isn't really big enough because that's only going to be 120. I'm going to do 12 times 100. Okay, so 12 times 100 is 1,200, isn't it? Okay, so write that underneath and then take it away. Okay, so 2 take away nothing is 2, 3 take away nothing is 3, 2 take away 2 is 0, and 1 take away 1 is 0. Okay, so I've only got 32 left now. So let's have a think. How many 12s? So 12, 24, 36. So that's too big. So I can only fit 2 in. So I'm going to put 12 times 2 here. So 12 times 2 is 24. So I'm going to put 24 underneath. 2 take away 4 I can't do. So remember I've got to borrow. So borrow from there. 12 take away 4 is 8. And 2 take away 2 is nothing. So I've got 8 left at the end. Okay, now to work out our answer then, well, we can't carry on anymore, can we, first of all, because 8 is smaller than 12. So we can't fit any more 12s into there, so we can't carry on. Okay, so we're going to stop there. Your answer then is this one and this one, not the 12s, because that's what we were dividing by. It's your other one, so 100, add 2. So your answer is going to be 102, remainder 8. Okay, because we've got this left over at the end. Okay, so it does say in question 1, write your remainders as whole numbers. Okay, so they are all probably going to have remainders. Question 2 then is dividing each number by 1,000. So that's some good practice there. Number 3 is use appropriate mental methods to make these numbers 9 times smaller. So you've got to divide each one by 9, but it's asking you to try and do it mentally. Now that is tricky, so you can use bus stop if it helps you, but things like 270, you know that 27 is in your 9 times table, so you don't need to use written for that one. Some of them you might need to. Have a go mentally first, but then if you're struggling, you can always write it down. And then on question 4, it's some more bid maths, like we did yesterday. So I'll put this on for you to help you. So it's using bid maths again. So make sure you go in this order. So if you've got brackets, do those first. If you've got indices, I don't think any of them have, but cubed or squared numbers, that comes next. Then division, then multiplication, then addition, then subtraction. Okay, so remember, follow that order. Shall I do an example just to help you before we finish? Okay, so the first one is 36 divided by 4, add 20 times 8. Okay, so we've got quite a few different operations in this one. So we've got division, addition, multiplication. Division comes first in our bid maths order, doesn't it? So 36 divided by 4 is going to be first. Okay, so 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36. Okay, so 9. So 36 divided by 4 is 9. So let's write that out again. Okay, so you do. So the 36 divided by 4 was our division, so that equals 9. Add 20 times 8. So now we've got addition, and multiplication. Let's just check back. Multiplication comes before addition, so you're going to do 20 times 8. So 2 times 8 is 16. Don't forget to add your 0. So let's write that out. So 20 times 8, 2 times 8 is 16. Add your 0 is 160. So you'd write out 9, add 160, and then you can work it out. Okay? So remember, write it all out and then write it out in steps, I would. That makes it easier. Okay? Don't forget to email me if you've got any questions. It's quite tricky today, so take your time, try your best, and have a good go. Okay? And see you all in school on Monday.